All right. Shalom, family. It's your brother Kanaiba coming at you once again with this video titled, Are You Ready? Because It's Coming. M.O.T.B, Revelation chapter 13. Okay. So this is quite a time to be alive. Quite an interesting time to be alive. Because we're living in a time where it seems like every day or every other day, prophecy is coming into fruition. Okay. Now, I don't know if you remember or if you saw, but I believe in my last video, I said we only have a small handful of prophecies that's left to be fulfilled before Yahweh Shah returns. Okay, and that holds true, which leads us to one of, if not the most major prophecy that has to be fulfilled before total destruction comes, which is the M.O.T.B, or Mark of the Beast, that you read about in Revelation chapter 13. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to watch a few recent videos that were actually uploaded. And of course, it's concerning the Mark of the Beast, or the M.O.T.B. It's basically alluding to it, right? So we're actually going to watch these 3 videos and we're going to go over it. Of course, I'm going to give my critique on it. And of course, it's going to be from a biblical perspective. And then we're going to bring the video to a close. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to get into the first video, which is a commercial for Chase Bank. Okay. JP Morgan Chase Bank. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay. So as the commercial opens up, you see 2 girls, each one with their parent, with their mother. Okay. And I believe the girls are actually selling what appears to be maybe candy or cookies or what have you. Maybe they're from opposing Girl Scout clubs or maybe even opposing schools, but they're actually selling something, what appears to be candy or cookies, as we continue with the commercial. But we're going to see the agenda that they're actually trying to push. Okay. And it's going to be clear from a 2-dimensional perspective and a 3-dimensional perspective. Right. But anyway, let's continue. Now, notice how this little girl has a look of annoyance on her face. And that's because the man that she's trying to sell the candy bars to, he's taking too long to actually make his purchase. Now, why is he taking too long to make his purchase? It's because he's using physical paper money. Okay, that's the whole point of this particular commercial from a 2-dimensional perspective. Okay, he's using paper money and the transaction is taking too long. You see how he's fumbling around in his wallet trying to scramble and get the correct amount together to actually pay for the candy bars. They're trying to demonize people who actually want to use physical money, as opposed to this. Let's continue. See that? Now, the other little girl, her transactions are going a lot quicker and smoother because they're not using physical money. Okay, that's the purpose of this particular commercial from a 2-dimensional perspective. Okay. They are demonizing people that actually want to use physical money. You still using physical money, you're living in what they call the Stone Age. Okay. You need to get with the times. Okay, that's the whole thing, is to basically shame people that still use physical money. You need to get with the times and get with the technology that makes buying and selling easier and quicker and a smoother transaction. Now, from a three-dimensional perspective, okay, what are they displaying? The first little girl, notice how she's wearing blue, but this little girl is wearing the color yellow. Remember, the color yellow represents what? Enlightenment. Okay, so this little girl, she's reached a point of enlightenment. She's realized that this is a better way of doing things. That's why she's wearing the yellow shirt. She's the one that's enlightened. That's why her transactions and her sales are going quicker and more smoothly. Okay. Also, to let you know that this particular commercial is esoteric. Okay, there's a lot of there's different Masonic imagery in here too. Look in the background. Okay, the girl is literally in between two pillars. Okay, and when you deal with Freemasonry, when you begin that particular process, you have to first walk between the two pillars, which leads to what? The checkered board floor. Look at the little girl's mother. Look at her purse. She literally has a checkered purse, because again, that's the beginning of that particular path, is to walk the checkered board floor, to embrace duality, good and evil. And this particular commercial does have an aspect of duality. That's why the opposing girls, one is black, one is white. Okay. And notice the little Caucasian girl, she's wearing blue. They switched roles, because the true blue man is actually us, so-called black people. But they got the white girl wearing blue, because again, this is a thing of duality. And then when you look in this present world, the people that are looked at that's so enlightened are Caucasians. But now they have the black girl wearing yellow because she represents enlightenment. They've switched roles. They're just embracing duality. That's what this particular commercial is going into. It's also esoteric, but it's also letting us know that from a two-dimensional perspective, they want to get away from physical money. And they're trying to shame people into getting away from physical money, so they get with the times and the technology that it takes that's basically going to lead to the implant, the M.O.T.B, the mark of the beast. That's the end goal. That's the real enlightenment. Okay. And also the little girl, the little black girl, her mother is playing a mother goddess figure. That's why her mother is overseeing the transactions. Okay, notice how the Caucasian girl, the Edomite girl, her mother is just standing off to the side, not really doing anything. That's because the black woman in this particular commercial is playing a mother goddess role. Okay, that's why she has the checkered purse. Okay, all this is just Freemasonry. Okay, but let's continue. So as we continue with the commercial, we see the little Caucasian girl. She's still on the same customer, as opposed to the little black girl. She done been through at least 3 or 4 transactions since the white girl has been on this particular one transaction. And it's all due to the black girl, being up in the times. She's with the times. Okay, the technology that they want to lead us into. Okay, they want to get us away from the actual physical money. That's why this transaction is taking so long with the little white girl. Okay, and notice too who they're using. And now this is another subliminal message. Notice who they're using to show that people are still living in the Stone Ages. They had to use a man to look like a bumbling, fumbling idiot. And it had to be a Caucasian man because it's, it's politically correct to demonize a quote unquote Caucasian man for wanting to live in the past. But in actuality, it's really just it's an attack on masculinity. Okay, they had to use a man to look like the bumbling, fumbling idiot that can't progress in society. He wants to live in the past. He wants things to be the way that they were, when in actuality, it's the women that want to progress and be enlightened. They're the ones that have the wisdom to make things better. Okay, this whole commercial. This commercial is something, but that's what they're subliminally trying to portray. Okay. And notice too, look at this little girl. Look at her shirt. Look at the symbol there. It's an E. Now, could that be symbolic for Esau or Edom? I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it is, but that's very telling. Okay. But that's what's going on here. Okay. Again, they have to, in this woke culture, some way, somehow, they also have to demonize the masculine principle, the masculine perspective, in order to actually uplift and venerate the feminine. Okay. But anyway, let's finish it out. Now, notice as this commercial is coming to a close, they had to give us one more glimpse of the mother's checkered purse. Okay, that wasn't by happenstance. And as the commercial closes out, the focus is going to be on the little girl, of course, wearing the yellow shirt. Okay, she's enlightened. That's why she had the most transactions, the most sales. Okay, because she got away from the physical money. That's the point. Okay, you want to reach a point of enlightenment, a better way, a better system. We got to get away from this physical money. Okay, we got to get with the technology. And soon, it's not going to be done on your phone, as we saw in this commercial. Soon, they're going to want to get away from that and just have a chip implanted inside of you. Okay, where you could just make the transaction by waving your hand in front of whatever technology it takes to make the transaction. You just wave your hand right in front of it. Okay, there's your sale. Okay. But with that's going to bring this particular commercial to a close. And this is a perfect segue to go right into the next video that I want to take a look at. But first, we're going to read an article about it. Okay, so with that, let's take a look at this article. It's very interesting. All right. So this particular article is from CNBC. Okay, and it was published earlier this month. All right. And it says tech. Amazon to bring palm scanning tech to NYU Lagoon Health facilities. Okay. Remember, I believe this was a while back. I did a video on that Amazon's commercial about their palm scanning technology that was in like their Whole Food stores and things like that. They had the palm scanning technology. Well, they're trying to bring that to hospitals, and they're starting with NYU Lagoon Health Facilities. Okay, but soon soon they're going to want it in all hospitals. Okay, but let's continue. Let's read the article here. So moving forward, the article reads, it says patients at NYU Lagoon Health Facilities will soon be able to check in for appointments using Amazon's palm scanning technology, the company announced Monday. So again, if you've been watching my past videos concerning this technology or the coming of the mark of the beast, I've been saying they're going to try to sell it to you as a good thing, a way to make things easier. They're going to try to sell it to you so you'll take it voluntarily at first. They're trying to get you used to it. But soon it's going to be to a point where it's mandatory. Okay, and this is just for people that's trying to check into the hospital. Okay, for their appointments. Soon, you're not going to be able to see a doctor for health issues unless you have that mark. No more hospitals. You get sick, there's something you're going to have to deal with on your own. You don't have that quote unquote M.O.T.B. It's coming. Okay, but the article continues. It says, the contactless service called Amazon One. Yep, that was the name of it. There was that Amazon One commercial I did a video about in the past. Okay, it was their little Whole Foods store that they were promoting. It says, let me read that again. It says the contactless service called Amazon One can identify patients securely and quickly according to a release. Again, they're trying to make it seem like it's a much easier and better way of doing things to check into the hospital if you have an appointment, right? It says NYU Lagoon said the technology will help it speed up sign-ins, alleviate administrative strain on staff, and reduce errors and wait times. Okay. So again, they're trying to make it seem like this is a better and much easier way of doing things because they know one of the things that people hate is the wait time when they go to the hospital. So they're saying that this will cut down on the wait time and cut down on paperwork. You get rid of the paperwork, you won't have so many errors as far as paperwork goes. Okay, this will be much more pinpoint. Okay, so now let's take a look at this particular video concerning this situation that's being talked about in the article. All right.
Hey, what's up, guys? Mark's here, and today I'm talking about something super cool that's coming to healthcare. Amazon's palm scanning technology is about to change the way we check in at hospitals, starting with NYU Langone Health next week. So here's the deal. This new tech allows patients to simply scan their palms to check in. It's totally optional, so if you're not feeling it, you can stick with the old school methods. But seriously, why would you?
You see how they're framing this? Okay, they're telling us that if you still like the old school way, you could that is still optional if you want to do the paperwork and things like that. It's still optional if you want to stick to the old school way. But then he turns around and says, but why would you? So there's still an element of shaming that comes with this. Again, they want to get people to be on board with the technology because the end goal is to put a chip inside of you to be able to do these transactions because they want control over these transactions, whether you're able to buy or sell or things of this nature. They're in control of it. That's why they have to get that chip inside of you. And in order for them to do that, they have to get you on board and comfortable with the technology that it takes to complete this mission. Okay? But anyway, let's continue.
This is fast, secure, and just plain awesome. Imagine walking into the hospital, waving your hand over a scanner, and boom, you're checked in. No more fiddling with paperwork or waiting in long lines. It's all about making the experience smoother and more efficient. Now I know what you're thinking. Is this safe? Amazon's tech is designed with security in mind, aiming to protect your data while making the check-in process quicker. Speed and security together in one neat package. That's a win-win if you ask me. This is a big step forward for healthcare technology, and I'm stoked to see how it pans out. So, if you're heading to NYU Langone Health next week, give it a try and let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more tech updates. Catch you in the next one.
Alright, so as we see in this particular video, it's just more of the same, okay? Them trying to sell us on this particular type of technology. They're trying to make it seem like it's an easier way to get things done. It's less of a hassle. They want people to accept this voluntarily at first. Again, that's why there's this whole campaign on trying to sell you on this. Okay? But those few people whom are going to refuse to get with the times, it's going to be made mandatory. It's going to be made mandatory for everybody, okay? But first, they want to try to get as many people as possible to be on board voluntarily, okay? But soon, all of this is going to lead to, again, it's going to lead to you being chipped, okay? And they're going to try and they're going to make that mandatory. Okay, so now from here, let's move on to the last video I want to take a look at. And I believe this particular video was actually produced earlier today. Okay, it's actually from the news. I believe it's ABC News. But yeah, let's actually get into this particular video, and then we're going to bring my video to a close. After we get to the scriptures, of course. All right. So let's move forward.
We turn now to the miracle of technology, helping people with disabilities redefine their lives.
Now, notice how she called it the miracle of technology. Okay, this just goes to show you Esau indeed has a God complex. They want to be the most high, but they're not and never will be. All right.
New technology is helping people with severe physical disabilities interact and do everyday things simply by thinking about them. Rodney Gorham, an ALS patient who can't use his arms or his voice, can now use Wi-Fi connected devices to control devices in his home, from picking his favorite playlist to turning on a lamp, adjusting the air conditioning, or running a robotic vacuum.
Cleaning started.
Even feeding his dog. Gorham is one of 10 people who've received a surgically implanted brain-computer interface device powered by artificial intelligence.
Now, notice how the previous video dealing with the NYU hospital facilities, notice how that particular video was dealing with getting your hand scanned, right? So now this particular video is talking about how these people with medical conditions are getting an implant in their brain or in their head. It went from the hand to the head. So now we're going to deal with that in the scriptures in a bit. Okay, so let's continue.
The device decodes signals from his brain activity and translates them into commands.
This is the first time that we've used the device with layers of AI. The NVIDIA technology takes information delivered using Apple Vision Pro, and it identifies digital devices that are in the home environment, and then the BCI lets you make choices.
That BCI, or brain-computer interface, was developed by a company called Synchron, which has been conducting clinical trials.
The goal with this technology is that people who are dependent on other people can restore some of that agency, some of that autonomy. If you'll see in the demo that Rodney's wife texts him, she says she has to leave and do some things, and he's then in his own home environment interacting with the phone, with the fan, with the dog feeder, with a whole range of activities that he can now do on his own.
Elon Musk's company, Neuralink, is developing similar technology, recently announcing a second person with a spinal cord injury has been implanted with a brain chip, which allows patients to control technology with their mind.
And Synchron hopes to make its device available to more people within a few years.
Yeah, see that? I told you, it's coming. Okay, it's right around the corner. And soon, of course, it's going to be mandatory. That's why you're seeing more and more different companies really in competition with each other to put this type of technology out there. Okay. But yes, soon it's going to be mandatory. And now let's get to the scriptures and actually prove that. Okay. So this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And it reads, it says, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Again, remember the video about the NYU hospitals. It was dealing with getting your hand scanned. And then this last video, they were showing people that got a brain chip implanted inside of their heads. Okay, the hand and the head. Lining up with this particular verse, okay? Because we're starting to see this prophecy coming to fruition. And you're going to see it more and more in these last days until it's mandatory. Okay, let's look at the next verse here. So this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 17. And it reads, it says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Okay, so you're not going to be able to basically function in society without having this particular mark. What is that mark? Of course, it's having a chip implanted in either your hand or your forehead. Okay, but either way, you're going to have that implant, that chip. Okay, in order to basically function or buy or sell in society. Okay, that's going to be that last quote unquote test before Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, it says, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So let's look at what that number is. Let's take a look at the next verse here. So this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 18. And it reads, it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 666, aka 666. Okay. So, yeah. That's what's coming. That's what they're pushing right now. That's why you're seeing so much more information and more of a push with this particular technology, trying to get us away from the physical money. You're living in the Stone Age if you want to keep that type of currency. Okay, we have a newer and better way of living that's more convenient. Okay, you want to go to your doctor's appointments? We got you. No paperwork needed. Just simply scan your hand. All right. You have people with neurological problems? We got you. Just put this chip inside of your head. You'll be able to function just like everybody else. That's what they're pushing. But again, all these things have to happen before the end truly comes. All right. But anyway, that's going to bring us to the end of this particular video. And again, the title of the video is, Are You Ready? Because It's Coming. M.O.T.B, Revelation chapter 13. Okay. So these were just a few videos that came out here recently that's showing that what they're really trying to lead us into. Okay. And it's going to be more and more clear as time goes on. Okay. Because we are in the last days. And like I said in my previous video, there's only a small handful of prophecies that's left to be fulfilled before Yahweh Shai comes back. Okay, and this is a major one. Okay, so this has to happen. Oh, do not marvel. It's going to happen. Okay, it's just a matter of when is it going to be made mandatory. And I truly believe that's right around the corner. All right. So with that, and as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father. And I do so by Hashem, which means in the name of Yahweh Shai, which is the name of the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, whom the world knows as Jesus Christ. And I want to thank all you brothers and sisters for tuning in. I hope this video was informative and edifying. And until next time, Shalom, family.